What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Day with Destiny. I know a lot of y'all didn't even know like much about me or what I'm going through or things that I've experienced. So I figured let's go ahead and get in the girl chat and we will talk about it. Yes, that does say that I'm going into a hospital. You probably are wondering, why is she walking into a hospital? Well, I went through breast cancer and I've been going through this journey for the past about 3 years now. I am currently in remission, so thank God. But I'm currently going through the process of trying to reconstruct my chest, and nobody's ever talked to me about there being complications with this reconstruction process. Of course, you go into the plastic surgeon, they run you down the things that could possibly happen, but you don't really hear the stories or the horror stories of, oh, this could happen and oh, that happened to me and that happened to this girl. You don't really hear those types of things. And so I never expected for things to just be going wrong or for my plastic surgeon to be like, oh, well, they should have did this and they didn't. So here we are, here and now. So I've been experiencing this spot on the right side of my breast, and I noticed the spot was just like rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. And one day, y'all, it was just like it started to pus, and I was so concerned, but then I was like, it might be all right. Like, if y'all know anything about my breast cancer journey, y'all already know my struggle with being like, it'll be all right. And here we are today. But my husband was like, no, we're gonna call the doctor, let's see what's going on. So that's how I ended up in the plastic surgeon's office to begin with. Thank God for my husband. We are literally peas in the pods, like left and right, up and down, like we are each other's everything. But I went in and he checked me out. When I tell you that plastic surgeon came in there with a toothpick or like a cotton swab and swiped across that spot on my boob, y'all, all the skin came off. Like all the skin, like at least I don't even want to say a $50, like way bigger than that, like a golf ball circumference of skin came off on my expander. And so it was fully exposed and you've seen everything underneath. So he told me right then, we're going to have to go into emergency surgery. I had no options. And for me, I developed anxiety and depression from going through everything with breast cancer. I never had it before, but I definitely developed it through my breast cancer journey and then now in this post healing stage as well. And so my anxiety was through the roof when they were like, oh, you need to go over there immediately. Like, don't go home, don't go pack a bag, don't do anything, go immediately to the dang emergency room. And so I'm like, absolutely nice. So I just like went into this fight or flight response. I was like a freaking mouse in a cage. I was like, absolutely not. I've got to get out of here. I got to leave. I've got to get to my husband. He is my support person. And the mere thought of having to go into surgery without my husband there with me was absolutely terrifying. And it gave me an anxiety attack in itself. Like, I was frantic. I was fidgety. I had to go and I left. Like, I did not abide by their orders. I had to go and get my husband. He was at work at the time. I had to have him leave work. We went home. We packed a bag. We had to get things situated with our son before we could even get everything together to go to the hospital. But we did. I ended up having like a whole nother panic attack on the way home. Like, just thinking about it all, because it's, you have your stuff planned out on how you think it's going to go and how you think everything is going to pan out. And it just was not happening like that for me. Like, I'm really big on my faith and I pray a lot, and I pray, that God will guide me and protect me as I'm going through this journey and not allow these complications to happen to me. But then when I do experience the complication, like, I know it's for his glory. I know it has so much bigger of a purpose than it just being a bad thing that happened to me or a misfortunate thing that happened to me. Like, God is using me for whatever his reason is. And I'm just glad that God can use me for whatever my testimony can do for somebody else. Like, I'm just happy to be a vessel. But that being said, we got to the hospital. I got the surgery done. We came out of surgery. Here we had to stay overnight. I had this nasty breakfast. Like, they stay giving these nasty like jailhouse breakfasts out. It's absolutely disgusting. And my husband gets a kick out of trying to feed it to me. I don't know why. I don't know why he's so amused by it, but it's absolutely disgusting. Like, it tastes like astronaut food is what I would think of it as. But we stayed overnight. My plastic surgeon came in to check everything out. He felt okay about how everything looked. He was just like, we took the expander out and we put a small implant in and like removed some of that thinning skin. My skin was so thin from the radiation. That's the reason why it was rupturing and it wouldn't stay together, is because it was so radiated. And just, old skin that's not able to regenerate the way that it would because it's been fried to death by the dang radiation. But he had his fingers crossed. This was actually on Thursday morning. We were getting ready to get discharged, and he told us to come back and see him on Monday. So this is Monday morning, going to the follow-up, trying to get everything checked out and see what's going on with the chest. We are in good spirits. We usually are in good spirits. I mean, we don't really have any dull moments around here. Even when bad stuff comes, we try to keep it nice, light, and airy. And boy, me and my husband, we'll make a joke about any and everything. So we went and he checked me out. I was still stitched together. I still had my drain in and everything like that. And so it was still looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't looking like something was wrong, but my plastic surgeon was still really concerned on if the stitches were gonna hold or not. And so he had us come back in 2 more days. So we had to go back on Wednesday to see exactly what we were gonna do, like if it's gonna hold, if it's not gonna hold. And I only have so many options. So if it doesn't hold, then I could either go back to surgery to try the same procedure all over again, or I could go back to surgery to have it removed totally and just let my chest fully flatten out. And then we would have to use some of my back muscle, pretty much my entire latissimus muscle, to reconstruct the whole right side of my chest in order to try to get an implant in there. And so to think about that second option, it's like really scary to me, because I didn't want to do the latissimus procedure to begin with, because working out and being active and like I want to have more babies, like so many things will require me to have back strength. So taking out my back muscle was not really something I was interested in doing. So that in itself is just all scary. Like, it's so terrifying to think about if I would have to end up doing what I didn't want to do, and I had to go through all of this just to figure that out. But all in all, in the meantime, my amazing husband helps me every single day. He strips my drain for me. This is the drain that's attached in my chest to drain out all the liquid, all the bodily fluids and things from my chest every day. So my husband helps me to drain this. We do this twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. He helps me with my bandages. Like, he's literally like like my everything. My nurse husband, I love him so much. And I just have to say, for all my pink warriors out there, like, unconditional love is unmatched. I've talked to so many women that have went through their breast cancer journey with boyfriends and even husbands that left them because they thought it got too hard. Like, specifically for husbands, like when you're married and it's said, like in the vows you make to God, it says for sickness and in health. Like, it's unfortunate, yes, that so early on in our marriage, sickness came for me, and we never expected that to happen. Like, I was in the prime of my life health-wise when I was diagnosed with this. Like, I was a CrossFit athlete. I was fit. Body was top notch. Do you hear me? Top freaking notch. Abs, back, everything just snatched and slim. And she was just, she was everything. I had pretty long hair. Like, I was just doing the dang thing, you know what I'm saying? And then my whole everything changed when I got diagnosed with breast cancer. So let me just say, having somebody to truly be there and hold those vows and mean those vows has been utterly like life-changing. And I thank God so much that he placed the right person in my life, and vice versa for my husband, that we could be that for one another. But we following up, honey. Here's our follow-up. We went in on Wednesday to see what the doctor was saying, what he thinks about my little stitches or whatever. And when we changed my bandages last night, we noticed that there was like a little bit of scab that came off, and it was like stuck to the bandages when we detached it or whatever to clean it off and replace the new bandages. So I was concerned about that little spot, but I was hoping it was gonna be straight. But I wanted to make sure I brought it up to my plastic surgeon and get his opinion on it, because one thing about it, my plastic surgeon don't play by me, okay? And he doesn't play about his work either. Like, he's very, very meticulous, very particular, and like, he really truly knows what he's talking about. And I value that so, so much in him, because he is a man of very little words. Like, bedside manner is kind of iffy, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, like, he's a pretty cool cat. So he told me he's gonna give it a couple more days, see what it's looking like, and see if we're gonna need to go back to surgery or not. So he gave us a day, told us to come back in office. Here we are going back in office on a Friday, just trying to figure it out, honey. Is it gonna work or is it not gonna work? So as you can see, I look like a freaking bum this whole time. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with surgeries, but like, I can't fully shower, so I can't get my chest area wet. I can't wear a bra. I can't wear anything restricting on my chest area. So I got this one left boob that's just big and out of order and just out here, just flopping left and right all the freaking time. And then I have this little bitty, tiny, little cute pebble right boob on the right side, girl. One's up, one's down. As far as self-esteem goes, girl, I'm all over the place because like I can't wear good clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really plays on your self-esteem. And as a woman, just wearing womanly things, wearing a bra, wearing a fitted shirt, like just even the smallest things, like all of that is affected by this because I'm so disproportionate and it's just so off. But I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the healing process. Quite honestly, with all of my journey, like the healing process is always the worst for me. But we went to go get my chest looked at again, and unfortunately the doctor said that I am gonna need to go back in for surgery. My stitches are not holding. By the time I got back into him, he pulled the bandage off and it was completely detached. So we are gonna have to go back in again for a second emergency surgery, but he said it's gonna be tomorrow. So we're gonna go have breakfast in the meantime, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow to let y'all know how the second surgery went. Okay, bye.